This channel is supported by TrueFire. TrueFire is an online library of lessons from some of my favourite players. There's thousands of lessons on there. You can use the promo code JNC40 to get 40% off of any of their courses. I got tagged in something on Facebook yesterday from Andrew, and he asked, essentially, he was saying there's an interview on the Guitar Nerds podcast with Steve Demidash. Is that how you say that? I hope I'm not embarrassing myself too thoroughly. And his idea of a stereo harmonic trem with LFOs running at different speeds. And he, asked if this would be something that I might take a look at. And I've never really thought about this, but when I think about tremolo, I kind of think of it as a sort of slightly boring effect. I know this is a prejudice that is wrong, but I just kind of think, well, there are, more obvious effects. There are lots of other things you could do. I do love the sound of a good trem though, and when I say in my mind it's kind of boring, it is only in my mind because it can really add so much to a tone. So let's try this. So this is the matchless. And what I'm going to do is add a little bit of reverb, because what we're going to do here, I'm going to think is probably going to be best suited to kind of ambient-ish tones, probably. Okay, so here we go, Andrew. So what I wanted to do was initially, we're going to ignore the stereo parts of this, because what we're thinking about is two LFOs, and we can't do that so much in the Helix, but what we can do is just set up two different tremolos. So if we do this, I'll figure out how we're doing this, mono, tremolo, and then put this one onto path B, and this one here move like this, and at the end here I'm going to pan A fully left and pan B fully right. Okay, and then what I'm going to do is take the speed down on this one to half. So now what we've effectively done is given ourselves a stereo tremolo, right? I think is really evocative of some really cool stuff. So what we could also do is kind of decouple these in a different kind of way. So if you kind of mismatch them, then you get a bit of a different feeling across the stereo field. And what we could do is also turn up the level on this one, or maybe we could turn down the intensity because it's happening. This one is the one that we need to compensate the level on because it's dropping the volume more, or more of the time. I really like that actually. So let me just, well, should I save that? Maybe. Let's just save it. But then what we could experiment with be like quicker trem sounds, which have a totally different impact, really. What happens if you match like a slow one? Or we can also assign these to a tap, by the way. Slow with fast. So I don't like that as much, if I'm honest. So let's take this back down to 3. Other things we could do, we've got the various types of trems, so it might be an idea to kind of mismatch them and keep the speed the same. However, let's try this. And in that way you can use, you know, that to essentially get a bit more of a wider spread. That's I love that. So that's the 60s bias trem, but keeping the speed, I think, I don't know if it'd be exactly equivalent, but roughly equivalent. Tremolo or vibrato. That's kind of cool. What else could we do? Optical trem. I don't know how much difference this is, because all these things are essentially I'm sort of getting away from the idea there, but essentially, instead of thinking about using 2 different LFOs, use 2 different tremolos, but with the same kind of speed setting, and you get that impact of having a wide tremolo thing, but it's still pretty cohesive sound-wise. The harmonic trem is a different type of effect slightly, but let's try matching that in as well. Oh, so we can affect bass and treble frequencies in this. So if we open them all the way up, that one I think is that tube based maybe, but the 60s bias might be my choice there if you were going to try and mismatch them a bit. I just think it's a perfect companion for like reverb. Obviously this is why the Strymon Flint is such a popular pedal, right? Because for a clean guitar, I think the next best friend alongside reverb probably is trem. You know, it doesn't sound quite as dated as chorus. Let me just go back to what I saved it as. So I kind of liked having the kind of slow one on the right hand side with less intensity, and a slightly faster one. I really like the sound of slower trems in general, but also experiment with maybe mismatching with the 60s bias trem. That kind of sounds cool. The harmonic tremolo has a bit of a different thing going on. It's I don't know quite how to describe it, but let's try putting in front a bit of drive and see how this. That's lovely, isn't it? Right, let's go into foot switch mode, and what we're going to do, we're going to assign here. That'd be our kind of lead tone. Going to leave the trems on all the time, but maybe we'll put in front here a little mono tape delay. Feedback, and turn up the wire flutter a bit, turn up the headroom, maybe keep it a bit more subtle, keep on trails, and save. Okay, well, I think Andrew has made a very good account of himself. I think that's a great idea, frankly. That's a really good way. I think the trems are quite low DSP, that you could create a nice stereo feeling preset, and again mismatch them if you want to get a bigger kind of stereo vibe going on. So you put like a 60s bias on this side, but you know, what's better than one tremolo, two tremolos? Obviously. I'll catch you in another video soon. If you want me to drop this into the folder, leave a comment below. If you could leave a comment, share this video around a little bit, it would help me out. I'm trying to, you know, keep things interesting and keep making stuff that is interesting to some of you folks, and I hope you find the presets to be kind of good value without ripping you off. You know, the £2.99 for basically all of the presets that I make, or £5 for both bundles. You know, I hope that presents pretty good value. So if you could share it around or something. Cheers for now. Thank you, Andrew. Bye.